Hey there, welcome to another Friday design. This week we're going to be doing our large bucket. They're a DIY subscription service and it's all full of really beautiful kind of pastel, moody spring flowers, the best May has to offer. We're going to start with Hydrangea because we are going to be using the Hydrangea as a base for the rest of the flowers. In our bucket this week we have 3 of the white Hydrangea. And I'm just going to take those petals off, those leaves off and any brown petals that might be on there, just make sure they're nice and perfect. We're going to take the 3 of them and we are going to tie them together using raffia wire. Now you can use anything that you have on hand. You could use raffia wire, you could use waterproof tape, you could use spool wire, anything like that. And we're just going to go around the base of the blooms with this piece twice, like so, 1, 2, and then we're just going to tie it nice and tight and twist off that raffia wire like we're tying off a twist tie. I'm going to trim off the excess. Oops, I'm not going to use this chicken wire, get that out of there. And I'm going to measure it to my pot. This pot that we're using is about 6 inches across and 6 inches deep. So we're going to go ahead and place these in. Now, if you place your hydrangea in and they hit the bottom and they wiggle around, you're going to want to take those out and give them a little bit more of a cut. I always like to cut a little long the first time because you can always take a little bit off. You can't add it back on. So we're going to put this back in here. We're going to spread the blooms of the hydrangea out to cover the entire top of our container. Okay. You can also do this with chicken wire if you want. We've been doing chicken wire the last couple of weeks, so I figured this time we would use just the hydrangea as a base. Now, I tied it so that you could spread it out a little bit. The point is not to cover it completely. The point is just to use it as a background for the rest of our flowers. And it gives us the opportunity to not have to use tape or to not have to use floral foam, which is always a good thing. Next in our bucket, we have these little petite light green miniature hydrangea, which we love. They're perfect spring green. And we're gonna make sure that we cut these little nubs off so that we have a nice clean stem going in to our container. And we're gonna go in through the hydrangea and just kind of let them sit on top a little bit. We're creating a little bit of dimension here so that not everything is one shape, not everything gets pressed into sort of a ball. Everything will sort of make a layer as we go in. So 3 of those, I'm just doing them kind of in a triangular pattern just so you can see it from all sides in our arrangement. And then we have some greenery to use. We have some Israeli Ruscus. Israeli Ruscus is great because it has a nice linear fill as well. So when you place it into your arrangement, you're gonna get a little bit of fill going this way, and it also kind of expands the arrangement slightly, which is nice as well. So I'm gonna use this clean stem, again, taking off the blooms that are the leaves that I don't wanna see. I'm gonna go into our hydrangea, sort of in an angle, sort of making a nest underneath the hydrangea in the container. And of course we want to get those stems nice and clean because anything that goes in that water is going to create bacteria as it degrades. So we don't want any of that in there because then that's going to make our other flowers last less long, and we do not want that. So I'm going in all around sort of in a radial fashion, not sort of, actually, in a radial fashion, like spokes on a wheel, so that it's kind of crisscrossing underneath and it's forming a foundation for the rest of our blooms. Put these guys in, and depending on what size bucket you have, you'll have either 5 or 6 of these, okay? So we got this going like this. Again, they're not all at the same level, they're not all at the same height because we want to create a little bit of visual dimension going on here, okay? So the next thing we're going to use is our peonies. Peonies are in bloom right now, so we have some in our buckets, usually in May and June, mostly. You'll see these guys popping up in our subscription flowers, which is always nice. Mine are done in my garden, unfortunately, but we still have them at the shop. So I'm gonna get these guys in here. Again, kind of going in an angle because I want to see them around the outside of my arrangement. Each one go in, so they're spread out a little bit, creating space in between for the rest of our flowers. Here we go. So pretty. All right. Now, if they're a little bit tight, now these are nice and bloomed, so we don't really have to do anything with them. Once they're at this point, you don't really want to mess with them. They'll continue to open on their own. But if they're a little bit tighter, you can like mush them out a little bit to get them started, just so the petals start to open, and then let it take it from there. So you can see them all around in this pattern. I'm gonna adjust my green so that they are in between, like so. Okay. Next up, we have, depending on the size of your bucket, you'll either have 3 or 2 hellebores. We've been using these last couple of weeks. We actually have a really great source for them from South America, and they're super hardy. So if you've ever cut them from your garden and they've sort of gone limp on you, these have been really great in the shop. We haven't had to worry about splitting the stems or anything like that. They've been taking up water really nicely, and they have this really beautiful foliage on them as well. So the foliage can help also add foliage to your arrangement. So they're doing double work here for you. You want to make sure that those stems are clean going in, and I'm going to let it rest so that those greens are just above the level. You can separate these down. A lot of times they have branches like this. I'm going to do 2 placements here. There we go. So I'm going to tuck this guy in over here, and nice. If you have any leaves that are large that might get in the way of the other blooms going in, just go ahead and edit those off. We're going to use them, and let the shape of the stem guide where you place it. One of the pretty things about these spring flowers is that they really have a lot of articulation in their stems, a lot of personality. So you don't want to squash that by cutting them short or tucking them in too tight. You really want to see a little bit of that movement that those cool stems provide. So I'm going in between here. So we've got a little bit coming out, and then I have them around the outside as well. Tuck them in all around. There we go. So you can see they're really sort of creating more of a lush green base for us without having to add more greens, which is always great. It's always great to be able to be more purposeful with your greens, and that is one of the reasons that we use the hydrangea as a base here. Again, you want to be able to see it through your stems, but at the same time, it's so nice to not have to have a big bush of greenery at the base, to be able to like see a bloom back there and let each stem really have its space. Next up, we're going to go in with our roses. We have these guys. They're called Miss Piggy roses, and depending on the size of your bucket, well, I think actually all the buckets have 5 of them there this week. So you have 5 of these. Love them. Some of my coworkers joke that they're called Miss Piggy because they look like ham, a little bit, but they are really beautiful bicolor, pink on the outside, a little peachy on the inside. Really nice. Now, if they have any nice foliage on them that you want to keep it on there. If the foliage isn't looking so hot or it's going to get in the way of your other stems, just edit that right off. I'm going to go in between my peonies. There we go. And then I'll put a couple of them in through the center to carry that color through for me. This one has nice green. Taking those packing petals off as you see them. Sometimes there'll be 1 or 2 left on the balloon or on the balloons when we pack up the buckets. Sometimes we pull them off for you, but if you see any on there, take them off. It's sort of like the outside of a head of iceberg lettuce, you know? You just want to take that one outside layer off, or Brussels sprout. Just get those weird little outside layers off. Okay, now we're kind of getting a shape, which is really nice. So we're going to come in with the rest of our roses. We have 3 of these, Barista roses. Awesome, love these, especially when they have this little bit of this mauvey purple tint to them. So pretty. So these I'm going to do in between my 3 triangularly placed Miss Piggy roses, like 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to leave a little bit long, trim off those stems, take off those packing petals. In the case of these though, the packing petals are the part that have the color, so you just don't want to take too many off, right? It's like sometimes when you have a garden rose, you start picking those petals off and you end up taking half the petals off. You want to keep some of it because it's definitely part of what makes them so pretty. Tuck these guys in a little, pull the Miss Piggy roses out a little. Tuck this one in over here. All right, now we're starting to see a shape come here with our triangles. Our peonies are triangles and Miss Piggies, and our guys in between to take their color through. Now you might be wondering what this color scheme is based on, or maybe you're not. We had these beautiful butterfly ranunculus in the shop, and that's what we started with, and that's what we based all these colors off of. So got plenty of these butterfly ranunculus. These, like the hellebores, you can trim into individual pieces, or if they are, if they join stems high up close to the bloom, you can certainly use those as a double stemmed placement. And the goal with these is to get as much movement and as much expansion for your arrangement as you can out of them, just because they have really cool sort of whimsical stems. We want to get those in there so that they really float on top. I mean, they are called butterfly ranunculus after all. That is part of the point, is for them to hover, for those blooms to really hover on top of the flowers. Love these. Keep turning your arrangement as you go, because you want to make sure you don't get any like flat spots, right? And these are great to work with for that because you have lots of different lengths on each stem. We only did 3 stems in the buckets, but they break down into many more individual pieces. So use as much or as little as you want for your arrangement, and maybe hold on to the rest to add into another vase, or a jar, or a bud vase you might have around the house. Don't feel like you have to use everything in one place. This one, I still have a couple of blooms in there. I'm gonna use those maybe at the end once I see what this looks like all together and I have all of my blooms in. So let me tuck that guy in. There we go. Maybe a piece off here as we turn and adjust and go through. All right, I feel like I don't like how these guys are touching each other. It's one of my pet peeves in arrangements like this, when you have things laying on top of each other. Just go through and massage everybody, make sure they have a place to be seen on their own, where they are not laying on another bloom. And then tuck this here. There you go. All right, so now we're really getting a shape, right? So everything's not at the same level, but we see it all the way through the arrangement. That's what we're going for here. Next, we're gonna do some regular ranunculus. We added these in because they just came in a super pretty color. They're not quite blush. Almost like yellowy in the middle, so pretty. But with these, they're just a standard. They're not Italian, they're not the double bloom. So you just want to give them a little bit of a blow to get them started opening, and they will continue to open in the arrangement. So you don't need to be too aggressive with them. And these as well, you can place them into your vase in a place where the blooms really get to hover above and really have some movement. That is what we love with these spring arrangements, with these Mayflowers, is seeing all of that movement in our arrangements. So depending on your bucket, you either got 3 of these or 5 of these. This one has 5. So again, not everything at the same level. You want to tuck some of them into your vase and have some coming out from your vase, so you get to see those colors and those textures in layers in your arrangement. And then, we got those guys, we're going to go into some Astilbe. This blush Astilbe really pulls in these softer blush colors from the Miss Piggy roses and from the butterfly ranunculus. So we're going to trim that, just tuck those in. And bonus, if you got any foliage at the base that you can use, go for it. I find that the foliage oftentimes keeps the bloom or makes the bloom die a little bit faster. So I take the leaves off the stems, like when I get them, when I process them in. However, if it's close up here, you can use that in the arrangement. That's always really nice. Sometimes there'll be just like a big piece of greenery around the base. And if that's the case, you can trim that off and use it in your arrangement as well, just to get a little bit more, again, of a textural variety in your foliage, which is always a good thing. Get these guys around the outside. I don't like it when there's like a single piece coming up like an alfalfa, so I like to try to have them spread my arrangement out, coming out from the sides as best possible. Again, just readjusting so that nobody's sitting on the others and everybody has their space as we go. Sometimes that means actually pulling it completely out of the arrangement and placing it back in. That is fine. That is what we do. Once you've placed it one time, you don't have to be married to where that stays. You can always move it around. So we're getting really ruffly here. And the last thing that we have in our bucket that I love so much, we've been getting sweet pea in. Again, it's on a short stem, but the stems are nice and clean and they have a lot of shape to them. So we're going to use them so that they really go into our arrangement, and again, they hover, they fill in that vertical space like the greenery that we have. And you'll have 3 of these in your bucket, and they really can be out to the side like that, you know, if you want it to be a little bit more of a cascade look, or they can really come up and out and show coming out the top of the arrangement, which is what I love. I get one of those in this way as well. Using that whole stem and using all of that really pretty shape that is naturally included with the stem. Okay, there we go. And then we didn't have to include any extra greenery because we had this really nice hydrangea base and the hellebores to sort of pull that together for us, which is awesome. This guy's a little bit saggy, so I'm gonna replace him with one of these extra guys. And again, I'm gonna hang on to any of my little extra blooms and buds, and I'm going to use those elsewhere. I'm gonna tuck this guy, where do I wanna see it? Maybe I'll go over here. Y'all aren't looking at it from my side, so I'll move it that way. See, like fill in a little space here, and adjust your greenery out. And then that is how you end up with a lush, sprawling centerpiece where we didn't have to overstuff it with greenery. It has a really great shape, really great layering throughout, and a really lovely sort of mauve inspired color palette going on here. It's perfect for these sort of, I keep saying sort of, unpredictable May days, crazy weather, crazy light coming in, all the clouds and storms and rain. And then it's hot. Here we go. Yeah, and once you're happy with your adjustments and your arrangements, just make sure you're topping off your vase with water and on a daily basis topping that off, and then give it a complete changeover at least every 2 days. The fresher you keep the water in the container, the longer your stems are going to last for you. People have suggested using bleach and things like that. You can totally do that. The end goal is all the same, is just keep that water clean and keep your flowers thriving. Give them a recut whenever you can. And you know, play around with them, as certain things might, you know, not last as long as others. Pull those out and then take the rest of your blooms and rearrange them. Give them a nice recut and then rearrange them maybe into something smaller. Take them apart, use them in vases around your house. Like I said, jars and bud vases and things like that, and enjoy them for as long as you can. So if you're not one of our subscribers to our YouTube channel, please subscribe. And if you're not one of our subscribers and you live in our local delivery area, you can subscribe to get our bucket as well each week, or a fully designed piece if you're not a DIY person, or a bunch if you have a ton of vases around your house and you just want a lovely bunch of flowers that you can pop into one of those. They're all available on our website, flowersandfancies.com. So definitely check us out there. And if you like this video, hit the like button. If you have any questions about this video, about the types of varieties that we used, or if you have suggestions for other types of arrangements or flowers that you would like to see, please leave it in the comments below and we'll respond as soon as we see them. And then until next week, happy designing.